Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by and checking out another one of my videos. So most people in the industry who know me know that I prefer to work with acrylic. Now, there's not really a reason in regards to one is better than the other. That is a false statement. I just prefer working with it. I have not actually used gel to build a nail since school, and I actually worked in a dental lab for many years before doing nails. So for me, transitioning into working with acrylic for nails was very easy, and I absolutely love it. Now, that being said, I still do work with gel polishes and gel paints as far as doing designs on top of my acrylic nails. So I wanted to show this design in both acrylic and in gel, because oftentimes when we watch videos, we may look at a design that's maybe being done in gel polish and think, oh, but I work with acrylic, like, can I do that? Or a design that's being done with acrylic and think, oh, but I work with gel, how can I do that with gel? So I wanted to show this design in both products, and also I'm showing you it in matte and shiny top coat, so you just get an idea of the different versatility and ways that you can do this design. And at the end, I also show you just a little hand painting on the matte one, just to show you that you can level it up in so many different ways. So if this is something that you're interested in, keep on watching. As always, please click the like and subscribe button, and if you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below. Okay guys, so for the acrylic design of this video, I am going to start off by using a semi-transparent or milky white. So I've just custom mixed this one here. As you can see, I've used 4 parts clear and 1 part white. So this is actually quite a transparent milky white. I would say it's even more transparent than what maybe people are using for milk bath nails. Now, I want to do actually a milk bath nail tutorial. I did milk bath nails, you know, quite some time ago when they first came out on a client, but I want to do a tutorial. So if that's something that you're interested in seeing, comment below or send a little flower emoji, but just let me know if that's something that you want to see. So like I said, you want some type of a soft white or a semi-transparent white. So I've got this one here, and then you're going to need a few colors of acrylic. So I've just got these 3 here. These are my go-to favorite tones and shades of colors. I love purples, pinks, and blues or teals. So I've just got these custom ones that I have made. As you guys have known or know from previous videos, I have tons and tons of custom little jars like this in my drawers. So that's what I'm using today. And then obviously you're going to need a monomer of choice and a clear acrylic. And then for the blingy little bits, I am using the JOHENS Angel Series Glitter. They're called Angel Flakes, and they are the AF #1. So I've got those guys, and then I've got these Born Pretty Flakes from eBay, excuse me, and they're just a larger fluffy flake. So I'm going to also use those in this design. Now these 2 flaky bits are actually going to be used in both the gel and the acrylic design, so keep that in mind. You need them for both. Now moving into the gel, I am going to custom mix a soft or semi-transparent white just by using my white crystal lac number 3S78 and my Young Nails top coat. So if you already have a soft white that again you would use for like milk bath nails or something like that, go ahead and use that. And then I am going to be using the LUXIO gel polishes. So I've got this one here called Bombshell. And then I've got this purple one, because I'm trying to stay in the same kind of color scheme with both of them, obviously. So I've got this one called Attraction. And then I didn't have a sort of tealy blue, so I'm going to actually just mix both Wink and Fanfare together to sort of make it a bit more on the tealy side. Now, the one thing I will say in regards to the LUXIO gel polishes is that they are very, very thick and gooey, so I am going to actually mix a little bit of alcohol in them just to help them spread a little bit. So you'll see me do that on the tile when I get into the design, just to thin out the product a little bit so that when I put it into the wet milky white color, it does spread a little better. So keep that in mind. If you have a gel polish that you're using that's a little on the thicker side, just add a little bit of alcohol to it and it'll thin it out. And then as for top coat, I am going to do these shiny. I've been doing so many matte lately, and honestly, I really wanted to do these in matte, but I thought, you know what? Let's go shiny today. So I'm going to go into using obviously my favorite top coat so far, and it is the Young Nail Stain Resistant. And then brushes, I still use my JOHENS, the big one from the pink chair, for my acrylic, and then for the gel, I'm going to be using this little guy here. I use this one all the time when I'm applying flakes or pigments. So I'm just going to use this one to apply the color into the milky white color. And then I don't have it pulled out, but you'll obviously need some type of a gel brush just to add or apply, excuse me, the milky white color to your nail. So as far as products go, that is it. So hang in there, guys. We're going to get started. So we are going to start off with the acrylic design. So I don't know if I've mentioned it in previous videos, but for the most part, I would say like 90% of the time when I'm doing tutorials for you guys, I have not practiced the design at all. I am literally just winging it as I'm filming and going for it. So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that both of these designs will work out. And if not, well, I guess you will see what doesn't work, and we will have to figure out a different way to make it work. So we're going to start off by applying a very wet layer, thin layer of the milky white. Now, if you're working on a larger nail like this, you may want to work in smaller sections because the product is going to be wet, and as I've mentioned in other videos, you want to make sure not to be getting the product all over the skin, so you don't want it to be dripping all over the skin and then wiping with the brush and constantly wiping your wet monomer filled brush all over the client's skin. So for this design, I don't have to worry about that because I'm obviously not working on a client, but just something to keep in mind. If you need to work in smaller sections, that is totally okay. So I'm going to go in with a wet bead of the soft white. As I said, I'm going to apply it very, very wet, and I'm going to work in the small sections just to make sure I can keep it on the wetter side. And then I'm going to go in with a wet bead of the colors, and as you see, it kind of spreads a little bit, and so we're just going to kind of marble those little bits of color here and there and let them sort of spread within that wet white. And it's not like your typical marbling that you would do like how we would normally do, where the color is very streaky and you get those sort of marbled lines. We actually want this to more so blend and mix in with the color and not really get streaky lines. So now I'm going to go into the next little section here and again just add some more of that off-white, and again start grabbing my color and sort of pushing them and blending them in. And we are going to continue this down the nail. And then we are actually going to do a total of 3 layers of the milky white and the color, and then cap in clear. Now the reason I made this milky white so transparent, like when you first look at this layer, you're thinking, oh, you can't even barely see the white at all. But as you start layering, when you get 3 layers of the milky white, it does become a little less transparent and you get that sort of soft, you know, soft white effect that we are going for. And then of course, into that wet acrylic, you want to add little bits of your JOHENS, what are they called? Angel flakes. And again, you don't want to do a lot because we're going to be layering this as well, so you don't want to cover too much of the area. And then we're going to go in with those flakes from Born Pretty. I will link everything that I can below for you guys. And again, try not to add too much, but you know, you want to have enough that you can get that flaky bit effect. So it's, as you can see, very, very soft. I got a little flake in there. It's a very, very soft look. And to be honest, you could cap this in clear and maybe do a stamp over top in white, like a floral design. You could leave it, you could add rhinestones. Honestly, this as it is a very soft, pretty, pretty design, and you could just leave it like this. But we're gonna keep going and keep layering it. So again, I'm going to start at the cuticle area and follow the exact same procedure, the exact same steps, and go down the nail again, adding a very wet layer of that milky white over top, very thin, and then blending those colors into it. So again, I'm going to grab a little bit of the blue, a little tiny bit of the pink. And I mean, depending on how pigmented your colors are, you really do not need a lot at all. And just continue down the nail. So the effect that you get is almost like a cloud. I don't even know. It's like a cloudy effect, I guess you would say. It reminds me of like unicorn clouds or something. And that might actually be the name that I call this design, is unicorn clouds. Okay, so we've got that second layer in there, and now we're going to go in with our third and final layer of the milky white and the colored acrylics. Same thing. And obviously you can see why it's very important to keep this very thin and your layers very thin. And as you can see, although that milky white is very, very transparent when you do that one single layer, as you can see, doing the 3 layers, it has definitely darkened up and become less transparent, which is why you want it to be very, very transparent when you first mix it, because of the amount of layers. So like I mentioned, when you're doing milk bath nails, you're not really doing a ton of layers, so it can be a little more on the opaque side. Whereas this one, with doing so many layers, you definitely want it to be very transparent. Now at this point, you could certainly cap with a little bit of the milky white, just to keep that sort of transparent, or sorry, that milky look going all the way through. But I like the addition of adding just the clear on top at this point, so that when you kind of tilt the nail, you get those little reflections from the flakes that we've put on the top layer, and they're not really covered up by that milky white. They don't go sort of matte by the milky white. So I really like that sort of different dimension, that underneath they are more matted, and then this top layer, they are shiny. So I'm going to go in and simply cap with clear after I have applied my flakes to all of the areas that I'm happy with. And I definitely love this design. Like I said, I went for it and was just winging it while I was doing the tutorial, and it looks pretty good so far. So now the last thing to do is just cap with clear. Okay guys, so here is the acrylic design. I have filed it, shaped it, buffed it, and is ready for top coat. Now I actually decided that I am going to do the gel one matte, and I'm going to do this one, the acrylic one, shiny, so that we can see the difference, because guys, I just love the matte, so I have to do a matte and see how it looks. Even the way that this one looks, if as you can see when I turn it and it's matted right now because there's no top coat on it, it looks really cool. So I do think that this is going to be a design that you could do both in matte and shiny, and it will look amazing. Now, of course, again, like I've said before, I like to give you guys sort of a base design that then you could add lots of things to. So again, you could just leave it like this, top coat it just like this, or you could add tons and tons of different embellishments and additions. You could hand paint flowers or leopard or zebra or any kind of swirls, anything like that. You could do that on top of the top coat. You could do it under the top coat. You can add rhinestones, stamps. There are so many different things that you could do with this design to, again, level it up. Now, I'm not going to do any of that because I just wanted to show you this very basic base design so that you can then take this and run wild with it and make it your own and do whatever you want on top. So, stop talking, Jen. Let's get to the top coat porn, the best part, and show the reveal. So I'm going to just get my top coat here, and here we go. Guys, so now we are going to get into the gel design portion, or the gel polish portion of it. So I have just taken my Young Nails top coat and I have added a very, very small amount of the Crystal Nails white, or the Crystal Lac white over here. So I'm going to do the exact same process as we did with the acrylic, applying a very thin layer of the milky white. Then I'm going to add my colors, blend them in, and add my flakes, and we're going to obviously cure in between each of those layers. Now with the gel, of course you can do you know, the entire nail, and you don't have to worry about it sliding around because obviously the gel stays wet until you cure it. So we can just put the whole layer of the milky white on. And I'm just using my, this is actually a Light Elegance brush that I bought forever ago, and I still use it to apply my white gel polishes or colors. So now I'm going to go in with my little brush, and as I said, because the LUXIO gel polish is a little thicker, I am going to dip into my alcohol here, and I'm going to just wet this LUXIO gel polish, and then I'm going to kind of dot it in here and there and just sort of blend it into that white. Clean off my brush, again add a little bit of that alcohol over to the purple color, and do the same thing, and we're just wanting to blend it in. just go in, clean off my brush, and I'm going to pick up some of these JOHENS bits, stick those in there, and then go into those flakes from Born Pretty, and same thing, just add them here and there, and then we are going to cure that layer. And just like with the acrylic design, we are going to do the same thing. We are going to go in with our second layer of the milky white. And then we are going to apply, again, a very, very, very thin layer. Now I will say, what I mixed here might even be a little bit too white. So I'm going to do the layer, do the layer very, very thin, and then again go in. You know what, actually what I'm going to do, like I said guys, we are winging it, so I'm going to add a little bit more of my top coat to this white to just make it a little bit more transparent, because if you do it too thin, then those colors don't really they don't blend as nicely. So I'm just going to mix a little bit on the side here and see if I can get it, oopsies, get it perfect the way that I want. I think that that's better. Yeah, so you really just want a very touch of white in that color, or in that base layer. Just as I was going to put it into the light, I realized I didn't do the flakes. So we want to add another layer of the flakes and the JOHENS Angel Flakes. Don't forget to do that. The flakes are important. I just about forgot. All right, and now we are down to our last layer. So I just wanted to show you the milky white on my brush. As you can see, it is very transparent, and that is what we want. That is very key to this design. If it's too milky, if it's too white, it'll cover up those flakes too much and they won't reflect at all. And then obviously if it's too transparent, then you know, you just won't get that sort of milky effect. So again, we're going to go in with our white and repeat the steps. I'm just wetting up that pink gel from LUXIO and adding my color. Going in with the purple and the blue. And if you can see here, some of those bits are sort of becoming a little bit, they're sort of poking through the white gel. So I'm just going back over those before I cure. I'm actually going to cure this before putting on the last layer of the flakes, because I want those flakes to be sort of covered and they kind of seem to want to poke through. So I'm going to stick that in the light really quick for a quick flash cure. And then I'm going to pull it out, and then I'm going to put the flakes on. And then this is where you would want to either use, you know, several layers of top coat, or you could use a builder gel and build on top, because there's going to be, you know, with the flakes, you're going to have things that are sort of poking out, and, you know, clients are infamous for picking at things, right, on their nails if they're poking out or scratching, and nobody wants that really. I mean, we want it to be smooth if possible. So I'm going to just do a couple of layers of top coat. I'm going to do the matte on this one. So I'm just going to do a couple of layers of the matte until it is smooth. And now I'm going to do the final cure on this layer, and then I'll add the matte top coat. Alright, so as you guys know, my absolute favorite top coat right now is the 2M Beauty from the pink chair. So I'm going to apply this. This top coat in particular cures to a tack-free matte, so there's no sticky layer that you have to wipe off, which I really like. And as mentioned, I will likely do 2 coats of this just to make sure that everything is as smooth as possible. I'm just going to take a peek at it from the side here, and it's pretty good, but there's, you know, a little piece here that I will say is kind of sticking up, so definitely I would recommend doing 2 coats. So I'm going to cure this and do my final coat of top coat. Okay guys, so here is the gel design done with the matte top coat. Again, a very cool effect. You can definitely see the different layers. I will say I think that I like the one with the shiny top coat better. I will show them both to you here side by side. I just like that I think you can see more dimension in the one with the shiny top coat because of that milky acrylic. There is different layers, and you sort of get some that look matted and some that look, you know, clouded, and then you get the shiny one. So I do think there's a little more dimension in the one with the shiny top coat, but both of them are very, very cool. Now, I know that I said I wasn't going to show you guys any nail art, and I just wanted to give you guys this base design to work with, and then you guys take it from there and do whatever you want. But I decided I want to do some little flowers on top of, or bigger flowers, excuse me, on top of this matte design. So I'm just taking the crystal nails. I've put a little bit of the white on my tile here, and I'm still just using that same brush. This is not the brush that I would normally use to do my flowers, but you know what? Like I said, we're winging it today. So I'm going to do my typical pointed petal flowers that I do. So you press, drag, and lift up so that you come to that point. Just like that. And the reason I don't normally use this brush is because it is a little bit on the thick side, so the lines are a little thicker than I would normally like, but we're just going for it. Well guys, thanks again for watching another one of my videos. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. I always enjoy doing tutorials, and I love just playing around while I'm on camera and winging it. And today it turned out really good. Both of these designs look pretty awesome. Whether you do matte or shiny, whether you do the gel or you do the acrylic, your clients are going to love these. And to be honest, they're really easy to do. So it's another design that we can do on our clients that is relatively quite quick, and you can get them in and out of your chair. So as usual, please click the like and subscribe. If you know anyone else who would like to see this video, please share it with them. And as usual, put any comments down below, and have a great day, guys.